What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. I do hope you are doing well. And as ever, thank you so much for stopping by, particularly on these preview videos that I do. They are something that I really enjoy. And over the season, you guys have really kind of gotten on with them as well, which is a really, really nice thing to see. So it's something that I know that works, and I will be continuing to do them. I will be doing them next season as well. So thank you so much for the support for that. Really, really do greatly appreciate it. Before we get into the video, I'm on a little bit of a mission to promote something that my niece is doing. She is currently doing a race for life for cancer research, and she is called Samaya Shah. She would just like anybody, if they can, to donate any money if possible. There's a large QR code on screen. There'll be a QR code on the screen throughout as well. So if you're watching on the TV or anything like that, then please just have a look at that and go online and just donate some money if you could do. That would be greatly appreciated. Nobody's expected to. I don't expect anybody to do it, but I just want to put it out there. It's just for my niece, Samaya Shah, who is running a 10K in 2026 in Harrogate. So it's looking like it could be very, very interesting. It's on Sunday, the 5th of July, and it's a course that's something that's very, very close to everybody's heart set. If you can donate, please do. Nobody's under any obligation to, but if you could do, that would be absolutely fantastic. It would mean a hell of a lot to me and to my family as well. So, yeah, if you could do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, it'll be on the screen down here. There'll be a QR code that'll be up there. So if you see it and you want to donate a bit of money, please do. Right. Today's video, for the last and final time this season, will be our preview of our game against West Ham at the London Stadium. Final day of the season. Kick-off tomorrow at 4 p.m. Now, a lot of people are saying, let's just play the kids. Let's just put the kids out there. And we could graciously lose the game, which would then mean if Everton do their thing and win at the weekend as well, that would mean that Spurs would be relegated. We're not going to go out to roll over. That's just something that isn't going to happen. That's not what we're about. That's not what we're going to do. Although, when we get into it in the first instance, when we look at it, the injury side of things, you would probably think that the kids are the only thing that we've got left to play. So, we'll jump straight into it. Injuries and suspensions. For West Ham, it's one. Adama Traore is doubtful with a bit of a muscle injury. For us, we have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 players that are either out or doubtful. So, Stack is out with an ankle injury, should be in the Germany squad. No idea why he isn't. Gabriel Gudmundsson is out with a hamstring injury. Gruev is with a meniscus injury. Okafor is with a calf injury. Aronson is doubtful with a knock. Jaden Bogle is doubtful with a hamstring. And Pascal Strauch is doubtful with his hip. So it might be that we have to play all of the kids anyways. Looking at pre-match standing. So for us, we have 1 drawn, 1. We're sat in 14th. Points of 47. SOFA score rating of 6.78. And for West Ham, it is a case of draw 1, and then they've lost 3 on the bounce at probably the most important part in the season. They've lost 3 on the bounce. SOFA score rating is 6.75, which suggests that they should be a little bit higher than what they actually are. And they're on 36 points. Our head-to-head with West Ham. So obviously we've got the game coming up tomorrow, which will be at 4 o'clock. But the last 4 games, so going from the 22nd, we've beaten West Ham 3-2. We then drew with West Ham 2-2. West Ham then beat us 3-1. We then beat West Ham this season 2-1 at home. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes out. We're pretty evenly matched in the head-to-heads quite recently, so it will be interesting to see how it goes all around. So let's look at the interesting part of this, which is one of my little favourite bits, the goal distribution side of things. So it's interesting when you do look at it. From us, we know what the score is with us. We'd like to concede goals in the second half. We've done a really good job, though, over the last few games of actually combating that and doing a lot better in terms of not conceding goals sillily. That's quite a difficult word to say, actually. So for us, it's 11, 15. So between 45 and 90 minutes, we've conceded 37 goals. Over the same period of time, West Ham have conceded 39 goals. We generally score the majority of our goals either just before half-time or within the 90-minute section. West Ham, conversely, generally tend to score very early, just at the end of a half or just at the end of a game is looking like when they tend to score. But when you look at the goals conceded record for West Ham, it's pretty bad. As a whole game stake overall, you're looking at they concede 11 between 0 and 15 minutes. Between 15 and 30, they've conceded 4. Between 30 and 45, it's 11. So just before half-time, which is generally when we score the majority of our goals. And then second half, 45 to 60 is 10. 60 to 75 is 14. And then 75 to 90 is 15. They concede a hell of a lot of goals particularly in the last sort of 60 to 90 minutes. So it's something that they've struggled with all season, but unfortunately, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they manage to combat that when it comes to the final game of the season. Looking at their recent form, so they beat Brentford, they drew against Manchester City, they lost to Aston Villa, lost to us, that was the FA Cup. They then beat Wolves, they drew with Crystal Palace, they beat Everton, and then their last 3 games. And I had said in a couple of my sort of pod sessions that I'd done with Jer and the lads and everything, that 3-game step for West Ham, and it being Brentford, Arsenal and Newcastle, was particularly brutal, and it's proved to be 100% proved to be the case for them, in the little sort of like mini running, if you like. So they're not in good form at the moment. I say they're not in good form, but it's difficult because I know what people will only look at the statistic of them, whether or not they've won or lost. But the only game where I've kind of thought, God, they're really, really bad, was the one against Newcastle, where it just looked like they just weren't up for the fight anymore, which has surprised me because they've done quite a long time of fighting. It just hasn't seemed to have worked out. An insight point of view, so West Ham have lost just one of their last 19 final day home matches in league history. Must win and hope Tottenham lose to avoid relegation on the final day. West Ham scored just 3 goals in their last 5 Premier League matches. They've conceded 65 goals this season. That's the worst defensive record outside of the bottom 2. For us, we've won more Premier League away games at West Ham, 7, than at any other ground. We all know as well about the London hoodoo that we have to look out for. We're already safe in 14th with nothing to play for on the final day except pride. But also as well, the players will be looking to get that bonus in, so they'll want to win. We're seeking our first Premier League double over West Ham since 2002 and 2003. And Leeds scored 7 goals in their last 5 matches. That's more than double what West Ham have scored in their last 5 matches. And again, that just speaks to what I've said on quite a few occasions, that when we've needed to, we've absolutely stepped up to the plate and just shown about it. And it's funny, a lot of people talk with regards to being safe or being not, and how suddenly it suddenly just goes from there's a load of people in the mire here to it being not over with, but we're out of trouble, if that makes sense. And it did. It happened for us very, very quickly, with West Ham losing that one game that then confirmed our safety. It was like it was done. All of a sudden, it was done. I know a lot of Leeds fans, as soon as we won at Manchester, a lot of Leeds fans' anxiety levels did lift. And it's understanding as to why that's the case, because if we're playing against Manchester and doing as well as what we did, we ain't going down. Or at least that's what you would think anyways. And that's borne out to be the case. Season statistics. So average SOFA score rating, as I said, for West Ham, it's 6.75. That's based off of the 37 matches. 43 goals scored, 1.2 goals per game, 65 conceded, 6 clean sheets, 28 assists, and ball possession of 42.5%. Conversely, for us, it's 6.78. Again, 37 matches. We've scored 49 goals. It's 1.3 per game. We've conceded 53, so that's 12 less than West Ham. 8 clean sheets, 24 assists, and our ball possession is 45.4%. When you look at the standings tracker, West Ham have basically been in and around the bottom of the table for the entirety of the season. They've been in and around they've gone no higher than I think 14th throughout the entire season itself. And other than that, they've been down and around sort of where they are. And they had a little mini revival between weeks 9 and 12. A lot of teams seem to have done that. That actually coincides with when we had our massive drop-off, weeks 9 to 12. But then we have sort of steadied the ship and been consistent with it and then gone up level over a certain period of time. Whereas West Ham have maintained from sort of like week 13 to 27 exactly the same position. Slight spike and then back down again from week 31 onwards. They've been in exactly the same position. And we talk about this a lot, but the psychology of actually playing well and scrapping for everything, but not being able to get yourself out of the situation that you're in, or at least clear of the situation that you're in, it's very, very demoralising. And from a psychological point of view, it can really affect how you're playing and what you're doing, because you're going into games constantly thinking to yourself, what have we got to do to get out of this position? Because currently, it ain't working for us at all. So, yeah, they've been, if anything, West Ham have been consistently poor and unlucky in results, is what I would say. Top scorers, so for West Ham, it's Bowen. Football rating of 7.16, 8 goals, 7.03 expected, 10 assists and 37 matches played. So he's got a GNA of 18 this season. For us, we know it's the main guy. DCL should be on the plane to Florida as far as I'm concerned. I know I'm slightly biased and maybe it's not the worst thing because it means that we don't have to worry about him overplaying over the summer and having a proper pre-season, all of that good stuff. But I don't understand the logic of some people, especially when you put in Noddy Madueke in there as well. 6.87 foot mob rating. He's got 14 goals in the league this season. It's 15 overall, 15.33 XG. He's got 1 assist, and that's over 34 games this season. So his GNA is, I think it's 16 for the season, which is just, for a free signing again, and I'm going to harp on about this until I'm blue in the face, it's just phenomenal. Top players, so for West Ham, it is Fernandez on 7.18, Mavropanos at 7.02, Somerville at 7, and you got Jarrod Bowen at, as near as makes a difference, 7, and then Lucas Paqueta, who is no longer there anymore, at 6.91. For us, you've got Ethan Ampadu, 7.14, Anton Stack, 7.14, Carl Darlow, 7.01, Justin, as near as makes the difference, 7, and Noah Okafor, as near as makes the difference, 7. So looking at the more statistical information for West Ham and what they've got going on. So 1.2 goals per game, 3 out of 3 penalty goals, no free kicks, 34 goals inside of the box out of 283 attempts. From outside of the box, it's 7 from 105 attempts, 14 left-footed, 16 right-footed, 10 headed goals, 1.8 big chances per game. They miss 1.2. In and around 11 shots per game. Shots on target is 3 to 4. Shots off target is, again, 3 to 4. Block shots is 3. Successful dribbles per game is 7. Corners per game is 5. Free kicks is 10. They've hit the woodwork 9 times and they've counter-attacked 46 times this season. Ball possession, 42.5%. So accurate passes, 291 per game. That's it's about an 80% success ratio. In their own half is at 90% success. In the opposition half is at 70% success. Accurate long balls, 43.6, and that's 14.7 per game. 3.7 crosses, which reflects in a 22.2% success rate. Defending, 6 clean sheets all season, 1.8 goals conceded per game, 18 tackles per game, 9 interceptions per game, 30 clearances per game, 3.5 to 4 saves per game, 45.4 ball recovers, 17 errors leading to a shot. Of those 17 errors that have led to a shot, 8 of those have turned into a goal. They've conceded 7 penalties. 6 of those 7 penalties have been scored against them. They've had 8 clearances off the line and 4 last-man tackles. They win 50% of their duels in a game. So of those ground duels, it's 51%. Aerial duels is 48%. They lose possession 128 times per game. 18 throw-ins a game. 9 goal kicks per game. Offsides per game is roughly in and around 2. 11 fouls per game, 2 yellow cards per game, and they've had 3 red cards overall. Looking at the team that they had in the last match, so they played a 4-4-2 formation. Hermansen in goal. They had Diouf as a left back, Diassi as a left centre back, Mavropanos as a right centre back, and then Walker Peters as their right back. In midfield, they had Somerville, Fernandez, Souček, who is the absolute scourge of Leeds United, and Jared Bowen. Then up top, they had Callum Wilson and Castellanos as their lineup. So a 4-4-2 formation, which I think, from memory, was actually a 5-3-2 overall. I know a lot of West Ham fans have been getting very, very annoyed at the defensive play that Nuno has been doing over the period of this season. For us, bearing in mind who's fit and who's going to be available, I think the lineup that we would go for, and this is again, I'm hoping that Aronson's going to be okay, but you're going to be having Darlow in goal, back 3 of Rodon, Biol and Bornau. You're going to have James as the right wing back. You'll have Justin as the left wing back. You'll have a midfield 2, sort of more defensive midfield of Ampadu, Tanaka patrolling the middle of midfield. You've then got Aronson and Nonto. This is what I would have, Aronson and Nonto as the 2 sort of forward attackers, giving a bit of guile, a bit of speed, a bit of pace. And then Calvert-Lewin, he's got to be up top. I'd love him actually, Calvert-Lewin, to get the goal, which then gives him, the outright lead for debut goals in a season. He's equalled Becchio, and one more, 16 goals, would then take him above Becchio, which would be an absolutely phenomenal achievement again for a player that's been free. Overall, just go out and play, boys. We've got a very, very bad injury list at the moment. They just need to go out and play. Freedom. There's nothing on the line. They can just go and do what they need to do and enjoy the game. Absolutely enjoy the game. I like a draw for us in this one. Of course, I want us to go into every game to get a win, but I like a draw for us in this one. So fingers crossed, just go and perform. Just go and give those away fans that have been supporting you throughout the season something to really, really enjoy for the final game of the season. And look, at the end of the day, if it means that West Ham get relegated, that's not on us. That's on West Ham's season overall. It's one game in isolation. It's nothing to do with us, although it would be hilarious if Spurs went down, because I have a tweet ready to go with regards to the notification that Spurs gave with the going into the Big Six and all of that kind of good bollocks, but it is what it is. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Again, just as a reminder, the Race for Life for my niece, Samaya. If you can afford to give any, please do so. The links and information will be in the description, but there is the QR code on screen. Please make sure you make use of that. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you are subscribed. Turn your notifications on. If you've got any comments, please make sure that you put those in there as well. I genuinely thank you so much for the support over the last few months, and particularly with these style of videos as well. They're much longer form content, and you guys do really seem to dig it. So I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it. Take care of each other. Most importantly, please take care of yourself. I'll see you with the review of the game tomorrow. Take it easy. Cheers.